Call to order. Flag salute. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, our monthly recognition for October is First Responders Recognition. Congress has designated October 28th as National First Responders Day. The resolution honors the firefighters, police officers, EMTs, and all those who are first on the scene in stressful situations. We take this moment to recognize the heroic men and women who make it their business to take immediate action when disaster strikes. Locally, we show special appreciation to both the paid staff and many volunteers who work for the Lane Fire Authority. Okay, agenda review. We need to add.
I'm asking to add a motion to approve both a cooperative and a collective for the 25-26 wrestling season. I'll underline those words right here. The cooperative would be for girls wrestling, and the collective is for boys wrestling with Elmira.
Okay. Like, what does it take for us to have our own teams? Do we know?
5 wrestlers.
5 wrestlers?
And under this agreement, the kids can have a team, and they will wrestle for us, for Crow, with any number.
Okay. So we'll put that under, let's see if it's there even one,
I think under
B.
consent agenda, yeah.
B. Is there any other additions? Do you guys have anything else? Okay. We'll go on to public comment.
Yeah, I'd like it if you guys could just address, you know, the hoot situation and how many times that's been at the school and, you know, just kind of want to hear from the source and what's going on with that.
Yeah, it's on a discussion item for me later.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to talk about it later?
Yeah.
Or do you want to talk about it now?
What do you want, board chair?
Let's talk about it now.
Okay, let's talk about it now. Let me get my notes. So, hold on a second. Got it in order. So I am aware and I understand that there's been some concern about the partnership with Boots, so I wanted to just give some background about how this came to be. Give a little description of the services that are currently being provided, and then would love to hear from others and the board if there's a direction there. So we're always looking to provide services and supports with our students. I'm always going after grants, and I got a little side hustle going to try to get grants as much as we can. And it's been great for our district for the most part. So this grant came along, and it presented itself as an opportunity to have both an emergency response person, like an EMT or an RN, and a crisis counselor in our school once a week, free of charge, with no barriers for students. So we're already in a partnership with Stronger Oregon to provide mental health counseling or therapy. We have a therapist that comes to our buildings once a week and meets with students, and that's a great service. The service does, however, require that the family bill insurance. So the families have to have insurance, and then they have to go through a whole insurance billing in order to have therapeutic counseling sessions. Hoots is a branch off of an original organization called Cahoots, which began in response to the number of kind of mental health crises and suicides of teens in our area. And they were the first responders to that. And so Hoots is a branch off of Cahoots. So the opportunity, so this is a grant through the ESD, and they're in many other schools in our county already. And they met with me and our guidance counselor, and I know I was just talking to Doug, the word counselor gets kind of confusing in schools. So schools have what's called a school guidance counselor who does a lot of academic advising and social emotional learning and on track to graduate, all that kind of guidance stuff. And then that person can also kind of do short-term crisis counseling. So if a student does present with suicidal ideation or a crisis in the family, that counselor can do some temporary short-term support, but then is guided to refer that student and family out to other services for long-term therapeutic mental health counseling. So the word counseling gets a little confusing when we use it in both frameworks, but in the school we have a academic guidance counselor. Yeah. That was good, right? What we don't have is on-staff therapeutic mental health counselors. They're typically through the health services. This grant presented as an opportunity for us to have on-site mental health counseling at no cost to students and with no barriers for families because they don't bill insurance. They're all paid through this grant. Our school counselor and myself met with the Hoots representative and talked about their services. They talked about how they didn't require parental permission, and I asked that we put that in place in our school district. I said we have a really supportive partnership with our families, and we want to make sure families are looped in. So in our system, we set up a plan where before students, and this is high school students only, I want to specify too. So they only serve high school age students through this grant. Before students meet with Hoots counselors, we want to make sure families are looped in and know and have given permission. And so we kind of agreed that our school counselor would be the gatekeeper to refer students to Hoots if they requested that. So Hoots sends 2 people once a week, and they send the same people, so for consistency, so kids can get to know them. So I did print the 2 people that are assigned to our school, Rooney and Margot. I'll read Rooney's profile. So Rooney goes by she, her. She's a crisis worker. She works for Hoots. She's a mom, as a visual artist and a phenomenal dancer. She aims to show up for teens in a way that she wasn't shown when she was a teen, with empathy, radical acceptance, and an okay knowledge of D&D, which is Dungeons and Dragons lore. Originally from North Carolina, she moved to Oregon with her bestie to get away from her family and to hang out in the trees. She likes kayaking, music, and a good thrifted wool sweater. The other medic who comes to our building is named Margot, goes by she, her. She's originally from the Bay Area, but has grown to love Oregon and all its quirks. She loves hiking, playing soccer, crocheting, trying new food, and cooking, and whenever she has free time. She joined Hoots because she aims to be someone who people feel comfortable speaking to and who helps other individuals get the care they need. So these are the 2 people that have been assigned to our school through the grant, 1 day a week. I checked in with them goodness, I lost track. Are we in week 5 or 6 of school? 6?
Thanks.
So we're in week 6. We just did progress report, so that was 5 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks. They didn't come the first week, so I think they've been on our campus 4 or 5 times on a Tuesday. And up until 2 weeks ago, we didn't have any students who had visited them. In the last couple of weeks, we did have parents request that their student visit with the Hoots people, which did happen. But I don't know if that's gonna be ongoing or if that was just one time. I went and talked to Rooney and Margot, this last week on Tuesday and just said, hey, we have some members of our community that are unsure about what's going on. They are more than happy if anyone would like to do kind of a town hall, get to know you, open conversation meeting. They're open to that if that's something that people would want to happen. I will say, we're such a small school district that I certainly don't want to out anybody. So I kind of just asked, I did a little bit of research. So according to the Youth Risk Behavioral Surveillance System and the Center of Educational Statistics, the average high school with 100 students in it, so our student body is about 76, but if you think of the average high school in America with about 100 kids, 40% of our high schoolers persistently are feeling anxious and worried in a way that interferes with their daily life. About 30 students report persistent sadness or hopelessness lasting 2 weeks or more, and 20 students have seriously considered suicide in the past year. Those statistics are true in our building also. So there is a need for support for students. And I saw the partnership with Hoots as an opportunity to provide support for kids in a way that removed the barriers and made help accessible. That's what I have to say.
Well, I'm the one that brought it to parents' attention.
Yeah.
Because I had just immediately gone to their website after the school posted the little blip about it. And what I saw was not comforting. And granted, I totally understand that there needs to be something. I mean, it's very obvious, but I just am worried about the ulterior motives, but
The pushing of the agenda.
when you go through and read like all the bios, they all have something that made me nervous, that made me think they can't be trusted. They can do a community meetup and all that. I wouldn't trust the word that came out of their mouth. Like, that's my assumption, and I know I'm not the only parent that would feel that way, but when they're using things like radically accepting and radically queer, and they make music about politics and believing in being a political activist and getting away from their families, that just does not match our school, I would say. However, when you had said that a parent had reached out, to me, that's better than students going directly to these people on campus. Like, if they want to be a resource for a parent to reach out to, that I think I would be okay with, because it's your child. If you feel comfortable with these people, that's fine. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't like the free access to the students, or the students having free access to people that I don't trust. And I know they're not my kids and all of that, but I just feel like what these people stand for is not something that matches the culture of our school. And I think there has to be something better. We have to have higher standards. And the one thing that really, besides the biographies, were that they're totally just open about their politics and all of that. But the one thing that was really weird and off to me on that website was a link to a Facebook group that, I don't have it in front of me, but I wish I did. It said, it's a private group on Facebook for if a student needs a safe home or ride share that's LGBTQ, transgender friendly. So to me, are they telling kids because, I'm sorry, high schooler still a kid, to go to a house they don't know, to a stranger they don't know, get in a car with a stranger they don't know, off of this link. I just found that so weird. And it's right on their front page. It's right there on the website. And private group, and that's what it's called. LGBTQ safe homes and ride shares or something very close to that. So that just threw up red flags. And it's like, why is a organization offering this? Like, what exactly is the motive? And what exactly does this entail? And I don't know, that just weirded me out. That it could be a link that a child does not tell their parent about, and they go get in a car with a complete stranger because this person that's supposed to be trustworthy told them that was safe. And we have no idea who these people are. You don't. But, so that just, it was reading the biographies of all of them, and that link is what made me nervous, because to me this group is just clearly political, and I should not assume that, okay, yes, maybe they do want to help kids. It's not, it doesn't make them bad people and all that, but it's very nerve-wracking, and that was just really honestly scary to read that, and knowing that that ideology will be at our school. And I don't necessarily worry about my kids specifically, but as a community, our school has grown so much for a reason. And I know you guys are probably all aware of that. And it's because we are not like the other districts.
100%.
Yep.
That's it. And if you start letting these things in, one by one, seeping in, it just infects. It does. And I don't believe this ideology helps kids mentally, physically, at all. I think it ruins them. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. And I just think schools should be there to teach basics. And I know you guys all agree with that. And I just think we have to find something better. And I understand we need something. There has to be a resource. There has to be. And maybe if this is what we can find in the immediate moment, okay. But I would feel better if it was a parent reaching out to these people versus the student. I know there's a chain of command that you've put in with Princess, like they're not supposed to talk to the child without talking to Princess first, and the Princess reaches out to the parent, which is great. But again, it goes back to what these people put in their bios. They were totally honest. And I don't trust them to go meet with a child and then tell that parent exactly what they told that child. I think they will hide things. I think they will give phone numbers. I think they will do that sort of thing because they're radically queer. They're radically, what one of them said, oh, I can't remember what it was. It's just, I read enough to where I don't trust these people. I don't.
Is there a way to make it to where the parents are with the student?
At least for one visit even.
Yeah,
like the
I mean,
very
just at
first
least,
visit.
I mean, for each visit, just to have that connection or, because you really don't want, I mean, honestly, I don't think I want my kid telling some stranger something. And me not being there, I know sometimes, but it can work both ways.
And I also know
My kid could be quiet
that
about
there's
it.
kids that don't have the parent that will help. And I know that's those are the main kids that are the ones that need this service. And I don't know what the answer is to that. But
That's the fine line, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
my own personal, I mean, I'm on with yourself as far as, I don't like them in the school because I guarantee all they're doing is trying to recruit people for whatever. Give them condoms and tell them, oh, you could have sex wherever, whenever.
it's
That's
the
not
fact that
okay
we
with me.
don't know if they're doing that.
100%. And that's like I say, I don't know what they are. I just know I've been around Planned Parenthood things and all these kind of things in big schools that have all of these people come in, and I don't agree with that teaching, because reading, writing, and arithmetic is what we need to be teaching. That's what the school is supposed to do. So that's my own personal, but I mean, I understand we need to have some kind of a helpful thing, but I mean, we've had counselors through the SD, and I think that we may have to look at something along those lines where, and I'm not saying that, whatever, I am, I guess. When you get something for free, they bring their agenda with it. It's one of those things that if you bring Planned Parenthood, and if you're absolutely against abortion or you're absolutely for it, I don't care. You bring Planned Parenthood, they're gonna teach their agenda of what they feel.
And honestly, I think that's why they offer things for free, because they know.
100%, because they'll come in and
They'll
counsel
take
the
care of
kids,
it,
they'll teach
which
the
I
kids
totally
what they
understand.
think. And that's the whole LGBTQHIJKLMNOP. I don't, you know my feelings about that stuff, so.
How long do we have the grant for?
The grant is 1 year only, and they're not even sure it can go through the entire school year.
Okay. Do you, and
They could
the,
guarantee a half a year, but they're hoping they get a full year.
the medical provider, are they an EMT or an RN?
Yes, one of the two. They,
Do
so
you
I
know
don't
which one they are? And can they provide?
Margot is, she says medic, so EMT.
Okay.
Or first responder even at medic, they could have taken a first responder class and called themselves a medic.
Yeah.
What about the other one, is she an actual psychiatrist or
It says
psychologist?
crisis worker.
So neither one of these are licensed people.
But if it's a resource for parents to request, that makes sense.
But maybe they just trust the district and trust everybody that they're not doing their research as well and finding their sources, so like.
But at least Elmira High School has a licensed psychiatrist that
Yeah,
they can
but
go
that's
to.
On site?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's, you gotta have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before Jane out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want that either, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong,
Yeah,
but.
right.
Doug has-
I have a little experience, not with these individuals, but with both of those career tracks. 40 years ago, my first captain told me terminology is important. And when I listened to Heidi reading these bios, they were interesting, but they didn't tell me anything. Medic means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. You could be a basic, or you can be an intermediate, or you can be a paramedic, which is tell us who you are, what are your qualifications. And as far as the other individual who is a crisis worker, that term doesn't exist in law or in statute or in the Department of Education. It, again, means absolutely nothing. Are you a qualified mental health practitioner? Are you a licensed clinical social worker? Are you a social worker, a master's degree social worker with experience? Who are these people, and why aren't they telling us who they are? So I share every one of your concerns. I'm not quite as, I don't know what their motives are, but you know, I'm not going to disagree with you. What I don't like is they're offering us nothing. They're not telling us who they are, what their qualifications are, and what their experience is. I wouldn't want them in the building. My point of view.
Yeah, I mean, if they were certified for whatever, telling us the full certification, or, you know, hey, here's my diploma, or here's my certificate that I got for doing all this, that might make some people feel a little bit better. But because they're not telling us information, it's like, what?
I bet
are
they
you
could
telling
provide
us?
that though.
I
If
think
they-
it does,
Yeah,
and that might be something to ask.
They
Yeah,
would
they
have
could
bragged
know.
about it on their bio if they were, like, if I was one of those, I think
I
I
bet-
probably wasn't planning on
I bet a
there.
crisis worker has a bachelor's in
Or
sociology
maybe they're
and
using
But
But
they
their
probably
hours.
would have put that in there.
I don't know.
See?
It depends who their audience is.
Do you have anything,
Yeah.
do you have anything?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm uncomfortable with that too. I think we should have individuals in our school who strengthen families. I know we have some needs here, but individuals who are interested in strengthening families. And when I hear things like, you know, escaping my family, things like that, I'm suspicious what their agendas might be, and we know that happens. You know, when they reveal things like that, I think it says a lot. And I feel our community is interested in strengthening families and respecting families and respecting parents in the process. So that's where I stand.
I think it's kind of rough when stuff just pops up, like you read it on, like, there wasn't a lot of communication of, like, we're looking into this could happen. People were kind of blindsided. I mean, because.
They did come meet with our middle high school staff, so we came to a staff meeting and talked about, and at that point, I didn't hear any pushback, but I didn't fly it by community or board, and.
Yeah, what was their feedback? The staff, were they like, yes, thank God, or were they like, no?
No, they were like, yes.
I've talked to some staff members and they were actually very impressed with the people who came in at the very first meeting. I have also heard that they're not as impressed with the people who have come into the building. But they said that the meeting that they had at the beginning, they were very impressed by the two individuals that came to that meeting.
I don't think, because me and Heidi talked in person, and she explained, like, there's always been, like, the Save Oregon.
Save Oregon,
yeah. There's always been a relationship with somebody providing some sort of care like this. I don't think the school, like the family, nobody really, I didn't know that. And I think people did not know there were already things kind of in place. It just, that fell through and we needed something quick. Like, we didn't know that. And I think that's why we were blindsided by this, because we just didn't know any sort of relationship really was there to begin with about what resources there are for students that need help and all of that. Because unless you need them, you're not going to really reach out. And but so I think that was part of it. It's just a lot of people don't know how the schools are, how they work, and all the entanglements with different organizations and all of that. So it looked like just out of the blue, all of a sudden, oh, we, hired this organization to come suddenly. Like, there was a reason and all of that, and I just think it needed to be communicated better. But
I mean, I think there's a need, obviously, we know that.
yeah.
But to my own personal opinion, this is not the way to go about filling that need. Honestly, I don't think our community would accept that. It's gonna be a tough road of, strangers talking to their kids, like pushing agendas. That's just everything that I've heard from a lot of the community members throughout this whole, the last couple weeks that it, came out.
I do want to say, Heidi, though, thank you for applying for grants, because we really can use grants. I get some people may not be happy with the people, but do thank you for applying for grants, because we do need grants. And it may be something that we have to just keep playing around with to find the right grant, the right group, or whatever else to be the right match. But we do thank you for applying for all these grants.
And I know it sounds like we're all making assumptions about this organization and all that. But like I said, it took me 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Their agenda is on their website. They have the flyer, and it all says it.
They call themselves a political activist group on their Facebook group or on their Facebook page. Like, they're pretty
That's
proud
what they
of
are.
it.
And I just think we need to be picky. We have to.
Well, I don't know is that all the comment for that subject? Do you have anything, do you have something else? Okay, what would be the next steps that we would, just take a comment and figure it out?
So, yeah, I think I hear.
Okay.
But as far as, ending the contract, one thing I guess we could ask is, like she had suggested, that if the parent wants to, or the kid talks to Princess and Princess talks to the parents and the parents want to reach out to these people, would that be an option for that? Or again, I'm sorry that I bring my whatever, but it's when a school-age child talks to a person and they're not going to tell the parents about it, I don't feel that it's just like a teacher. If a kid says something to the teacher, I feel they should tell the parent. They shouldn't just hide it and, oh, well, we'll take care of that without mom and dad knowing. It's just, I don't feel, that's not the way I was raised, that's not the way I want my family or my school teaching my children. So that's, but I mean, as far as if the parent needs to talk to someone or the child needs to talk to them, I mean, would they be open to that, not just having free access to the kids? Because that's their purpose, is to be there, get everybody to like them, nice talking to them, and then they become friends, and then they can talk to them about whatever they want to talk about. Because that's how you get kids to talk to you, is by befriending.
So at
And
the
it's just,
very least, could we make it the princess has to be in the room for all of it? Like a school person or a staff member or something? Like,
That's really not how
I don't
No.
know.
council
It's not,
members
okay,
session
because they want,
goes.
Yeah, that's not her.
But
We just need to get the
Sure.
right counselor.
Yeah, but how do you do
yes,
it?
we do.
Thanks.
Is there a way?
And the right
thing
counselor
is-
for you isn't the right counselor for me. We're
Yeah.
trying to find a school counselor for these kids in the crises, and every crisis is different, every kid
Well,
is different, every political
when I-
opinion is different.
When I said that, I meant
Yeah,
needing to decide what
yeah.
is the right counselor.
So here's a thought, kind of to build off of what Darren was saying. You know, we ought not to be recommending any one particular outfit, and in my mind, especially not this one, since they won't tell us who they are and what their qualifications and experience are. But perhaps we could have a list of resources that we can offer. Every adult in our buildings can do the immediate crisis intervention. I mean, that's what teachers and administrators and moms and dads do on a daily basis. We don't need these people in our building to provide whatever that might be. But we ought to be able to say, here are a list of resources, some of which are actually local, and, you know,
And let the parent
and let the parents decide.
Can this resource be kept for families that want to come forward on their own and not as a student-facing body? Like, can we still have those counselors available if a parent's like, Timmy's having a hard time, can you talk to them?
Well, I think at that point, it's more like the school can say, here's the phone numbers, or here's the list of resources, and the parent is the one that does the reaching out on their own. I think people have the
We do
problem
have,
with this organization being at the school, physically at the school. That is the initial problem. It's your child. If you want to go see this group on your time or whatever, that's your prerogative. The problem is an overtly political organization purporting to be for mental health coming to the school is what parents don't want. And it's very clear that's what this is, unfortunately. Like, I want a group to just be there to help kids with no agenda, help them feel better and whatnot, but it's just not this group.
Can we get on that subject? Okay, you said you had another thing?
Yeah, excuse me if it was already mentioned, I don't have social media, but is there a timeline on the middle school basketball coach hiring? For the girls?
I can update that, yeah, we have had applicants and we did a paper screening and a round of interviews. I think we're in a reference check phase, so it's coming. I would guess in the next week. Because the practices start, don't they?
It's like the 10th of November.
Yeah, in 3 weeks,
Well,
so.
that might be the
You
first
want to
game.
throw your name in the hat?
I'm a little late, I don't have social media, I missed that, but I was hoping to help out one of the applicants.
Well, let's chat.
There was really more volunteers.
I think it would be great to have you be part of the work.
I was pretty bummed, but I'm like stubborn and don't wanna be on social media, so.
Well, I mean, for good reason, you got hacked pretty good.
So I was, yeah, so.
All right, anything else? All right. Me, I have no report. All right.
Way to do it.
Maintenance supervisor, Brian.
So I don't have a lot either, but, I wanna report that the high school hallway, that, bank of heaters and air conditioners, now it's heaters, is working. We got it fixed. And when I reported that the bill could come in anywhere up to like $12,000, it came in at $6,000. So that was, I mean, it still sounds like a lot, but honestly, I thought just finding the repair was gonna be like $5,000. So I was, happy with $6,000. As far as the office, renovation, in case you didn't know, we had a flood at the so we're actually, next week, we're gonna start, cleaning up and moving in. We're gonna, this clean off, the part where Kim and Kathy's office part is, cause we're gonna cut into the wall and install a window, that slide window, but we needed to finish the rest of it first before we broke into that. But yeah, it's coming along real nice, and like I said, next week we'll start cleaning so that we can load the cabinets and move some of the furniture in and set Heidi's office up.
Are you staying in the library? I heard you like that.
One is door.
She likes her double doors, but no doors.
Two door openings, no doors.
So, kitchen, he got the bid also for installing the.
He got
Yes.
that bid.
Okay.
Yes.
He got multiple bids.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, and he's doing a good job. Happy with that. So, other than that, I got my scissor lift fixed this week, so I was able to get in the gym there at the elementary school and fix all the lights that were falling down. The screens, you know how they kick the balls up there and knock them, so I had 4 of them that were about ready to fall off, so I was able to get that. So now I can get back on the softball scoreboard, outside.
Putting the rope back up,
What's that?
putting the rope back up. So they have to climb the rope to the roof.
Oh, no, we can't do that. And then just, working on the pump house there, trying to get that electric put together. I've met with Lane Electric and I'm hoping to get that done here before too long. So, the wood shop class is actually building the pump house. It's coming along nice, and today we worked on putting electric in and cleaning out the conduit that has been sitting there since 2017. And so we blew it all out, got it cleaned, ready for Lane Electric to pull their lines through.
Sweet.
So,
Are they putting a new meter on, or are they connecting to it currently?
no, that's all coming out. It's new meter,
New meter?
new
Okay,
meter, everything.
okay, so we'll have another,
No,
okay, so
they're
they're,
removing the one and
Oh, okay.
putting in this one.
okay. As long as-
Not another bill.
I'm not a little like, I'm like, okay, we got this one, this one, this.
There's only 12.
That meter is actually gonna be the cheapest of the whole, all of our meters. For one, the sign that we have out front, when I put in the lines, I put a conduit line over to that sign, so right now, we just pay a flat rate to Lane Electric. And so those are LED lights, so once we hook up to that, it's gonna be quite a bit cheaper. So, cause it'll cost next to nothing to run that sign, and we pay money every month, just a flat rate. So
Yeah.
we'll be disconnecting off that and hooking on to the pump house. So it'll be good that way. Anyway, that's it. That's about all I got.
Okay, any questions for Brian? All right, business manager, HR director, Crystal.
I am just working with Heidi, rolling with the punches of budget numbers changing and funding changing and funding freezing, and working on getting things claimed as quickly as possible, so that if things do change or freeze, that we've already claimed our portion of it.
that and then coinciding with trying to, as always this time of year, get ready for audit that comes toward the end of the year, because that has to get done, otherwise they freeze our state funding. So trying to roll with those two things at the same time, but that's what I have.
Okay, any questions? All right, Transportation Food Services Supervisor, Don.
I don't have a whole lot. Busing's going well. They went on a field trip today. It was fantastic. Food service. I did a calculation, and we are doing about 500 more meals per month for breakfast and 500 more for lunch. So about 1,000 more meals a month with all of our new students. So, and we have like an 85% percentage of kids eating our lunches, which is huge. So, yeah, it's going really, really well. Really
And that's with no increase in staffing, so this is just more production.
No, we work their little heinies off. We work their heinies off. But
Awesome.
they're doing awesome.
I just want to say the bus drivers are doing an excellent job
They are.
busing us around football games and all that, volleyball, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
we're lucky to have them in our district. We have a really good, bus driver crew.
We have good stuff.
Yeah.
We did purchase a new van.
We did, yes, we did. And it's not being used yet. We're still waiting on the license plate and all that kind of stuff. So it should be coming anytime. So we've got our dash cam in, and I've got an appointment for our radio to go in. So still working on some of that. All that has to be in before we can actually use it.
So what happens with the old van? You trade it in?
We will still keep the gold van because it still runs. It's still, we have the annuals every year.
It's just got
It's got 260,000 miles, so it makes me nervous for people to go too far.
Sure.
Around, the area is fine, but I don't want to go into Portland or somewhere. So, and then Brian's he's been using the other van, the older van.
It's the Red Rocket I drive by.
Yeah. He uses that in his area, so that's been working.
I use it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I save a lot on the truck by, like today I had to run into analytical laboratories with water draws that I did today. So I'm going all the way into town and all the way back in a diesel truck.
Right.
And then I'm hooking onto my lift and on the trailer and hauling that around. So, I have the need, but if I can use the Red Rocket.
And we wouldn't get much out of it anyway.
Yeah. At least until it breaks down and it
Yeah.
costs too much to fix.
Yeah. It doesn't come out of my budget.
Yeah. That's what I like, because any driving that I do with that's transportation budget.
No.
Yeah.
And
It's all the school budget, right? It's all.
I like the Red Rocket. When I first started driving it, back when Leanne was here, I told her it needed new tires. Oh, it don't need new tires. Then I had to take her for a ride, and she walks out, and they were bald.
Oh.
I was in next week getting new tires.
Absolutely.
Any questions for Donna? Are you good?
Yeah.
No, you there? No
Nope.
questions?
I'll ask her tonight.
Is there anybody from the Booster Club?
Oh, shoot. I don't think we actually got anything. We're doing.
The Harvest
Harvest Festival is the 30th. There was just too much. We had to do the 30th. There was too many games.
Just for the Booster Club's record, I had to do some talking to get the fire marshal to let us have the haunted house downstairs. He did not like the stuff that's on the ceiling.
So you schmoozed them?
No, but.
And what'd you do, Brian?
Huh?
What'd you do? How'd you
He
get
was
that?
really questioning it. He didn't like that stuff up there. I mean, he was touching the light bulbs, making sure they weren't too hot.
No.
I said they're LED, they're not gonna be hot. Oh, okay.
Just tell them to stay down there for a minute, go turn off the lights and say, talk to BB about it. And then I guarantee he'd be fine. You shut the lights off, he'll be fine.
Harvest Fest.
Is there a fundraiser happening for the gift wrap?
Yes. When does that end?
It's, it hasn't.
No, Monday? Monday is the 20th?
I haven't seen anything on that.
Is it going only for the elementary, right? Right now?
Well, so the issue, we did want to do the middle and high school. But then all of a sudden, text fall fundraiser. So we weren't, so going forward, I think it's gonna be hard doing fundraisers at the same time as that. So I'm assuming there's going to be a winter one for winter sports, the text fundraiser.
Probably.
I would assume.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, so it was more like we didn't really realize that was going to be happening, so we did not feel great about asking middle and high school to.
We'll put it on Facebook and then some more of us might be able to see it and be able to work.
Well, it has been on Facebook.
Has it?
It has.
Okay.
For individual kids though, I think, right?
Yeah. Well,
I don't think I've seen it.
because Kaylee is our marketing person, but she is so busy. So she has not been doing enough posting. But maybe I don't know if there's been.
Maybe it's only
The
been
fundraising room, maybe,
the
maybe the wrapping thing, maybe I'm just seeing
Could
other
somebody post it
parents.
from the system?
Okay,
There's been a lot of postings from individual parents.
yes, okay.
Maybe put it out there.
So,
more.
when
Yeah, and I'll
get
share it.
home, I will
Perfect.
text our group. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome, sweet.
And probably the best thing is just talk to Peeler and just get the dates of, that
Yeah.
way you guys can,
Yes, we just weren't aware that was going to be a thing, and then suddenly it was a thing. The other thing I remember, I don't know if someone brought it up at the last board meeting, was we are searching for somewhere close a venue, because we need a fundraiser to replace Car Show, to do whether it's an adult prom, a sportsman,
Like an auction.
auction,
Yeah.
something along those lines, something that, we don't want to pay $10,000 for a venue. So if anybody has any leads on a venue that's willing to donate the venue, we might reach out to just open up on Fleck, Apano Vineyards, something like that. Because they're back up to my sister's family, and she just met them, and now they're really good friends. So we'll see. So we might have our foot in the door there. But if anybody has any leads on a venue that's willing to.
I do know on Brooks Hill, there's Sylvan
Yeah.
Right.
And
Sylvan,
Sweet
Sweet
Cheeks.
and
Yeah.
Sweet
I
Cheeks.
believe.
One of them on weekdays, I think it might be Thursdays, will offer the venue for free. You just have to sell like a certain amount of tickets.
Yeah.
Well, that I know. Yeah.
That's
I
Sylvan
think
Ridge,
we-
right?
Sylvan Ridge, it's one of them there.
Yeah, I think Sweet
Used to
Cheeks
be.
does, and Sylvan Ridge, I used to have it in with Sylvan Ridge, but I don't anymore.
I think Booster has reached out in the past. I don't think since I've been on the Booster Club they have, they did not offer it for free.
What if your theme is actually high school
But-
prom and it's in the high school gym?
People want alcohol.
So you can't serve
Oh, you
alcohol.
can't, no, fair enough.
So that's literally, that's why, people, they want to be able to have the drinks and all of that.
It's a big, so we get the orders.
Yes, so that's
Yeah.
why we aren't looking at the high school team. But I think that's it for boosters.
Okay,
I think.
any questions? Alright,
And you're doing
Go ahead.
the fundraiser for candy, right?
What does she mean?
Oh, yeah, the class,
Candy.
yes, the candy
candy
drive.
Candy drive.
That, I believe goes through next week. So it was this week and next week. Perfect.
There's been some hearsay of maybe somebody starting it back up, but also, not under boosters, just because it's so much work. I mean, it's,
The car show,
yes,
yeah, there was a local or Eugene businessman who approached Jenna, I think at the car show this past time, asking, what do you need? And Jenna's like, I can't talk to you right now because I am too busy during car show. But I guess he does this a lot. He takes over for you, gives you all the volunteers, which are probably his employees. And because then he asked, like, how much do you need to make profit in order to make this work? And Jenna just kind of threw out 10,000, because that's what it did in the past, 10, 12,000. He's like, oh, that's not a problem. What? Where were you last?
Where have you been the last 6
I don't know.
years?
So there is that, but it wouldn't. That's just through.
It was just hearsay about that.
Yeah. Nothing has come of that.
Yep.
So.
All right. CMHS student ASB's representative, Caden.
Exactly. So I'm gonna start with homecoming that we started doing the activities yesterday. I think everyone was really involved. I think everyone had a lot of fun for sure. The mud pit was great for sure. I think that was like the most involvement in the mud pit for sure. I think almost everybody definitely went in the mud pit. It was way more than I have seen.
Did you go in the mud pit?
last week.
Stood way back.
I know people have been busy thinking about school and also the days that's coming up. People are definitely excited for the homecoming football game tomorrow. So past homecoming, I do want to talk about academics and also sports. So academics probably. So yes, I know this is a state thing, but like I know people aren't very happy about phones and stuff, but I know we can't do anything about that. But I just wanted to say that.
We're not happy about it.
For the record.
Got it. Noted.
I lost track. Sorry. Frick. Let's see.
Academics.
Academics.
Oh, academics. Sorry. So we have been having this senior journal that we do in careers. It's awesome. We do this prompt every day where we answer these questions that we get. And one of the questions was, how do we feel about our cell phone health, basically, our relationship with it. And people have been saying because of the policy, it's been helping them be less attached, even outside of school, which is a good thing. I think school's going great. It's been very nice, very relaxed, I would say. I mean, some people might disagree, but I think it's been pretty nice. That's about it for academics. For sports has been great. We have cheer, football, volleyball, and also cross country.
The other one you do.
You're doing good.
Yeah.
It's awesome having all of those teams going. And high school volleyball and also football are winning. They have winning records, which is awesome. That's definitely going to have kids want to come to our school because we're having success. Middle school volleyball is doing great. Football is doing great. They just had an awesome win last night, 53-0 or something like that. Yeah. That's awesome. I know the coaches have been doing great. That's what I've heard. And everybody's been learning very well. Besides for that, I think that's mostly what I have. I mean, I know there's been some complaints about maybe not getting enough food, but that's really it. I think school's going great. Yeah. Any questions?
All right, thank you.
Nice job, Caden.
All right. Jackie's not here.
She did, this is in the packet. Do you want me to read it?
Sure.
Do you want to read it? Okay.
You can read it if you
Okay,
like.
sure. So Ms. Jackie's not able to be here, but says that things are going well at Applegate Elementary as we move into the heart of the fall season. Our students and staff have been engaged in meaningful learning activities and enjoying several seasonal traditions. Our K-2 students will visit Northern Lights Christmas Tree Farm on October 16th, which was today, yep, for their annual pumpkin patch field trip, while grades 3 through 5 will head to Johnson's Family Farm on October 23rd. To wrap up the month, the entire school will attend the Halloween concert at Crow Middle High School on October 30th, where students and staff will be dressed up to celebrate together. We continue our strong partnership with TNTP this year. Earlier this month, Jessica joined us for a round of learning walks with our teaching team. The visit highlighted the impressive instructional practices taking place across classrooms and the collective effort of staff to support student engagement and growth. Overall, Applegate staff and students are off to a positive, productive start, and the energy across campus remains high as we settle into the school year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jackie.
Any questions for Jackie? No. All right, superintendent, interim CMHS principal, Heidi.
Yes, okay, happy to share a few things. First, enrollment report, so that's in your packet. It's often high, the enrollment's often high at the very start of the year because some students that have transferred somewhere else stay on our records for 10 days till we drop them or until we get a records request. So last month we were at 360 K-12. This month we're at 353. I actually expect us to settle down right about 350. Still up 50 students from last year. So enrollment is growing, and it feels like they're all middle school boys. But, well, they're not all middle school boys, but it just feels like
There's a lot.
there's 3 sets of twins.
Yeah.
They're great. We love them. They're really good. But yeah, we all experienced a little bit of growth, some growing pains to start the year with that influx of students. So that's 22 more at the elementary school, up 25-ish more at the middle school, and then about 10 more at the high school. So we did some quick maneuvering to break up some of our larger classes at the middle school, made some scheduling adjustments to try to reduce those class sizes a little bit. And, we're still maintaining a really nice, smaller class size average across our district in comparison to other districts, so we feel good about that. But I'm starting to look at, our 3 to 5 year plan, like when those 44 third graders get to middle school, we need to be ready for that. And so what does that look like in spaces and teaching assignments and just putting some systems in place to prepare for that level of growth. But that's our enrollment update. It is a requirement each year to move through the Division 22 standards, so I will walk us through that. It's in your packet. Normally I would present a PowerPoint, but I'm just going to go old school. It's the paper. So I will move through this fairly quickly, but feel free to stop me with any questions. So Division 22 standards are the standards put forward by the Oregon Department of Education. And we are required as a school district to be in compliance with all of the rules. They ensure high quality learning experiences. They ensure that we're aligned and focused educational systems, that we engage partners and communities, that we have safe and inclusive schools, and that we are committed to support staff. The snapshot, you guys are with me? Yep, the colorful snapshot in the top left just talks about high quality learning experiences. I feel particularly proud of our teaching teams this year. Our elementary teachers are in their second year of really doing in-depth work around early literacy and how to best engage students in reading instruction. And now this year, for the first year, middle and high school is meeting with other content area specialists at those 5 rural schools around the county. So they're getting together with other teachers who are the one only English teacher in the high school and being able to talk about their content and their instructional practices. So I feel like we're doing some really good professional development. Engaging with community and partners, having safe and inclusive schools. You guys can read the requirements for each rule. So every year the administrator is required by law to look at each of the Division 22 standards and ensure the state that we are meeting those standards. They encompass a lot of different rules, everything from required instructional minutes, like our high schoolers need to have 990 hours throughout the school year, so we punch the numbers on all the periods and we take out the passing times and lunchtime and we do the math to make sure that we're meeting those instructional hours. It signals to our community that we're providing a high quality educational experience. I'm going to move to the next page. If a district is out of compliance, then we have to report it to the state and propose a corrective action plan. So right now we're reporting for last year. So there are 2 Division 22 standards that are still under waiver. One is the assessment of essential skills for graduation. So this used to be students had to meet a minimum score in reading and math in order to earn a diploma. That has been on a waiver status for a while and is still on waiver through the 27-28 school year. And the same kind of waiver is in place for students who, essential skill assessment for English language learners.
So those waivers on those 2 standards are not just our school district, they're statewide.
Correct, yep, they're statewide. So we are all ready for the OAR 58102222030, the district curriculum. New this last school year was to have the social emotional learning instruction in place. So our district shopped some vendors and we went with Wayfinder as our social emotional learning curriculum. It is an aligned curriculum PK-12. And this is our second year of having it, or third year of having it in the classroom. It's about a 30-minute lesson once a week. At the elementary, the classroom teacher delivers it. At the high school, it's typically built into an elective rotation, or sometimes it happens during focus period once a month, an SEL lesson. So we're meeting that new standard. We already have modified, extended, and diplomas and certificates of attendance in place, and we already have a substance use prevention and intervention plan in place. So we're meeting that standard. Last year, when we reported on our Division 22 standards, we were out of compliance in one area, if you remember, and it was about having a registered nurse. So a new standard was that we needed to have an RN to be within standard for health services. It took us a long time to find an RN that we could afford and that would work for a school district. He's tough. We do, so through Lane ESD in our local service plan, we contract to have the bare minimum as required by the state, which is a registered nurse on site 1 full day every 2 weeks. And that costs us $17,000. But we're in compliance.
What does she do that day?
So primarily, that we task that person with making sure all of the medications are stored correctly and the logs for tracking them and dosing them is all accurate. Also, that person goes through the immunization records and makes sure students are up to date on immunizations. Then we have some students who are on a specific plan, like a student who would have diabetes or something, so would review the health plan to ensure that it's all correct. But to be honest, the health service delivery on the daily happens through the school secretary.
A lot of ice packs needed, just not me.
But we are in compliance. So looking forward so I was able to mark our district in compliance in all the areas for this last school year. Looking forward, a new standard that will be in place next year when we report is this Educational Equity Advisory Committee. It requires that districts establish a committee composed of parents, employees, students, and community members to be selected by the school board and superintendent. For school districts with an average daily membership of less than 10,000, which is us, the school district is required to first convene an Educational Equity Advisory Committee by September 15th, 2025. We have put together a DEQ and we did have our first meeting. I think that group will meet 4 times a year, like a quarterly, we'll do a quarterly meeting. Originally, when this rule came out, the committee was supposed to be advisory to the board, but the Ethics Commission ruled that if that was a committee advisory to the board, it would mean that all of their meetings would need to be recorded and posted and follow Robert's Rules of Order with posted agendas and notes, and that just seemed to not really align with the environment of an equity committee where you want to just maybe talk more freely about your personal experience. So the legislature voted this last session to make it advisory to the superintendent, so it didn't fall under all those rules. Another newer revised rule is the administration of the state assessment. So the SEED survey is required by OSAS. Goodness, I don't know if I know both of those acronyms. Oregon State Assessment System is OSAS. The SEED is the Student
Equity, education.
Education Environment. I don't remember. Anyway, we are doing the SEED survey. Also, we do an ELPA screener. So we are in compliance with those. There are new educational leadership administrator standards. So those are how I'm evaluated and Ms. Jackie, the administrators. We've been using the NELP standards for many years. They've been updated a little bit, and this will be in effect on September 30th, 2027. So that's just stuff that's coming up. And that's my report. And it does need to invite comment.
Is there any public comment?
No, question for Heidi.
Okay. Question for Heidi?
The district equity committee that was gonna be an advisory to the board, but now will that be part of your report? Will you report out on that, or?
I could, yeah. I think what we'll do is, we just had our first meeting and it was a couple students, and one parent. The initial meeting was just like, who are we, what are we gonna do?
Sure.
There was no content. I think our first meeting will review when we get our kind of state report card, that out-of-glance report card, we'll look at that level of data and discuss some personal experiences with that and representations, a little bit of disaggregated data we can look at. And I'm happy to share that report with the board.
You usually
Some
do.
findings, yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Sure.
Ms. Brown, do you have like when and what are the times of the meetings?
Yes, and actually Ms. Fox is helping coordinate that,
Oh,
so she probably has them more than me, but yeah,
okay,
that'd be great.
because I was gonna attend, but I
Yeah,
was on that.
That's right, you were supposed to attend, but you weren't quite, you were on a bit, that's right, you were on a cruise.
He was eating a lot of pizza on that cruise.
During football
Okay, it's very impressive. Tell him how much pizza you ate. Tell him the pizza record.
24.
24 pieces of pizza.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Can't even.
And like the setting, one sitting?
It was 2 sittings. I had 12 each time.
That's like 5 pizzas.
Are you okay?
I could go.
He was enjoying his time.
I did.
He got his money's worth.
I had ice cream after.
That's a lot. Okay, so that's the Division 22 Standards Report. We already discussed the Counseling Services Partnership. So the other thing I want to share is also in your packet, the district and building office roles and responsibilities. So this is something, if you recall, I think last year at some point I discussed that we were going to maybe do this, and Jeff said, would you bring that to us? So this is just kind of a way for my mind to get a deeper understanding of each person's roles and responsibilities in both our district office staff and then our building office staff. specifically with the change in the middle high school principal, I was like, so thank you so much. Like, what falls in which person's lap when? So I've run this by our team of people who've contributed to it. The most difficult part was like, how detailed are we supposed to get? Because each one of the items could have 15 sub-items. So we just tried to be general, like this is generally what we do. Like I'm listed as the federal programs director. That has a whole bunch of things that go with it every year in all the federal programs, but that's a title.
Brian had to make his longer than all of ours.
Brian wanted his to be
I give
longer.
Crystal a little bit of lip, because hers is really short, and I know she works a lot.
Yeah, so the
It's all
length does
space.
all the
She
time.
was
Length
too
doesn't-
busy working.
That's right.
Exactly, I had too many things to do to make my list.
Brian went into the weeds.
I weed eat around the school.
It does just give a little bit of an idea of what people do. Every one of us works really hard and wears multiple hats, and I appreciate the work.
It's overwhelming.
Perfect, thank you.
Sure.
Any questions for Heidi?
I don't know that it fits under hers, but it kind of probably fit under Brian's more, or maybe Jackie's, but just a little question. When you started mentioning about the enrollment, it brought up parking. I can see how sorry. I was just wondering, is there any way that we can like maybe put 4 lines or something out front? Like there are so many people that come to park, and it's like people pull forward. We don't need 7 lines. We could make this in 5 if we scoot it over and forward.
Come closer.
Yeah, or like, a parking director that maybe volunteered to put on not me.
You would make a great one, it sounds
I
like.
could do it. I'm just saying that these people,
Yeah.
these people do not understand how to park a car. I don't know. Jackie has tried very hard by sending out infomercials and stuff. It's hard to get through, but and when the person flies down the road and pulls into the first line and then goes right through and gotcha, and they go, looks at their kid and you're like, what the heck? So, just thought I'd bring it up maybe.
I have heard about this.
It's worse than
crazy this year.
it's worse than it's ever been.
I haven't witnessed it very much though, because I'm not
You
there.
should just come and
Lot
sit,
of
you would start at 2:30,
Yeah,
2:30 p.m.
2:30
It
it
starts at 2:30.
That's true.
But those
Are you
two new
sure?
people
I drive
don't
by
know
it
how to
too.
drive.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of traffic coming back when you're coming in from Veneta.
Yes.
At 3:50, I'm like, why is there so many? Oh, yeah.
It's all the people who don't have the bus routes.
Exactly.
It is. Today I was like, oh my gosh, or yesterday, I'm so late, and all these people start coming, I'm really late.
Yeah, if you go to Anita at 8 o'clock in the morning, the line of cars coming.
And to
It's-
this,
Yeah, to the
not.
school is a long.
Well, I'm trying to see on that first corner, like
Yeah.
you really are trying to be there. That's like a nice super blind. Like you literally slow down, and I try to look. Okay, oh good, the lines are way over there. I can actually, maneuver.
Because you don't
versus-
know which one to. I don't know how the other schools do it. Like Elmira and Veneta are so tiny. I can't imagine how they
has
do
a
it.
good system though. They have everybody, they have 2 lines and then the cars take turns. And then on our system, you take turns, but it funnels through a lot of cars pretty quickly and efficiently.
I think
2
that we
lines,
have a
sure.
great program if people
They just need
understood
to go
it.
bumper to
Trying to
bumper.
load those shoes,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
6 at a time.
Yeah. It's wonderful if people
I mean,
understood
it looks
it.
like chaos, but it's amazing how well they
Yeah, oh,
have
absolutely.
it, like, get the kids in the right cars.
Mr. Bowers
You know,
is
make
awesome.
sure-
He gives everybody.
I
you
know.
know,
Mr. Bowers,
that's
that's-
yeah.
Now the people that get out, go all the way around the car, put their kid in the car seat, buckle them in, you're like, come on. I'm screaming at my kids halfway to Benita still.
I mean, I do think lines are a good idea, but
How many times people go?
people peel out of there and it'd be gone, it would just be a waste.
I know, that's the truth,
Waste
because
of-
it is just gravel.
Yeah, cause they'll,
We do
people
have the
go,
cookie monsters, yeah.
yeah, lots of cookie monsters. But yeah.
It was just.
And even without them, it'd be hard to.
Yeah.
I pull over to Mercantile all the time. I'm like, just a minute, just let me get to the Mercantile.
Training.
I know.
What do you guys do? Barbecue?
Yeah, people practice.
I love being a parent.
Yeah.
Do the parking, like, this is how you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you, and we'll keep trying.
I don't know, with how many new
I don't
people
know
we
either.
have this year, I think it's gonna take longer than the previous years. I mean,
Oh no, man, I'm new and I got it.
Do literacy night earlier, get everybody there, and then have a
Train
little
them.
part on your little PowerPoint. This is how we drive.
We could make the back to school barbecue. We could just have the back to school barbecue, a little
Screen, it's
tutorial
like, this
on
is how we
parking
do
and
it.
pickup.
That's a great idea.
I will say, when I was principal at Harrison Elementary in Cottage Grove, we were fairly routinely flagged by the fire department because the roadway was blocked.
Yep.
From backed up cars, so we're not
At least
unique
we
in
don't have
our
that.
problem.
Yeah, that's one thing is we don't have that. Everybody
that.
gets in a
We
line.
get out the roadway.
Yeah.
We would
We're
want
stuck in the wrong line.
Harrison wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
Can't help you if we can't get
the
there.
new building though?
No, it was
The
like
old
third
building.
grade.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I mean, I work in Eugene and our lines look a little better than some of those ones that are going on there. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, no, I think we're doing really good, I just
Yeah.
keep hoping.
School buildings were designed for almost all students to come on the bus.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then now that's not the case.
Well, and then you have Monday through Wednesday, you're like, okay, we've got this, and Thursday grandma's come. And then you've got all the families trying to figure it out.
They're gonna be like, okay, it's Thursday, I gotta take
Yeah.
bread.
Or
It's probably gonna be.
or if it's a Friday, you've got all the dads in the big lifted trucks, and you're like, well, it's Friday.
With the trailer, with the trailer.
We got it's hunting season, we got the trailer, we got the truck, we got the.
Hey, my dad came and picked me up one time with a help in the back of the truck, so.
And you were proud.
Yeah.
I do think Booster Club could do a fundraiser with selling coffee in the line.
They really
could
could.
do a,
Yes.
do a coffee vendor.
Could you imagine somebody making coffee and they talk about the one?
Like the Dutch Bros
Yeah.
line, like they could be the parking attendant and serve the coffee.
Could you imagine?
Our coffee shop actually had.
Mr. Bowers would be putting
started-
in coffee over
Right, to the parents in line, yeah.
Yes, I think that would be
We're
awesome.
thinking of more like a morning thing, where
Mhm.
like they can do an order and then the next morning.
Yeah.
they can do coffee.
Online
Text
order.
it in.
Text
Text
it
it
in
over
for the
and
next
QR
morning.
code.
Yeah.
Sign up for a QR code.
Oh man, a whole menu eyes as you pull in.
You really could just start with like the basic couple things to see how well it's gonna go.
Coffee and cream.
Yes, black cream sugar. That's
That's it, yeah.
Muffins
We're
are
talking
optional.
buffet. In and out, go.
If you could sell patience, you'd be a millionaire. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Approval of the regular board meeting minutes held September 18th, 2025. And the approval of the district expenditures September 2025.
I move that we approve the board's regular meeting minutes.
All second.
Moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 401. 401? Okay.
This is the last edition.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance. I'll just look at it real fast. Where, Crystal, where's like the funds? What funds are like, being held up? And
So
what?
the federal government closure, it's our IDEA funds,
Okay,
which are special education, it's a little bit more than 100,000.
Yeah.
And then our before after school program is funded through a 21st Century grant, which is held at the federal level, which for our district is about 75,000.
okay,
The state has reported that they can basically float the funds for a couple months, but after that, we're unsure.
And then a couple of our ones went down, so like our SIA went down.
Yes. So the funds that were, through the state funds that come through the corporate activity tax, which is our SIA funding and high school success, got adjusted. And overall, we're down about 45,000 on those funds, because tax revenue came in lower.
What's the gym floor refinish? Was that the high school?
Both.
They
Both of them?
yeah, they both get a refinish.
But we only did a single coat this time, but we think it's gonna be okay.
Okay.
So you tell us what it's not. Saving money.
Okay. You guys ready to move on? You good?
We already voted it in, I'm good.
Alright. Okay, we do have the co-op and the collective wrestling agreement. You want me to read this thing?
Sure.
Hello, the athletic director is requesting approval of both a cooperative and collective for the 25-26 wrestling season. The cooperative is for girls wrestling and the collective is for boys wrestling. We have to do two different agreements because of the different classifications. Girls wrestling is 1A to 4A, and doing a cooperative for girls moves Elmira to 4A. For boys wrestling, the classification is 3A, so we have to do a collective to not move Elmira up to 4A. That's kind of weird. Like, don't they have to go to 4A and stay 4A? I mean, they can't be 3A in one and 4A in the other, right?
Oh,
If
go ahead.
you, I'm sure have your expertise.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So with that, the girls wrestle 1A through 4A,
It's
so
all
it doesn't
one.
matter.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't matter.
Right, but the boys do matter. So if they add our ADM to theirs, then they would have to move up to 4A.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay. Basically, the difference is cooperative is a combination of two schools, so it'd be Elmira Crow for girls wrestling. Boys wrestling would be shared facilities, but the boys would wrestle as Crow in tournaments. Looking at proposed proposals for the next round of classifications, Elmira might be moved up to 4A, allowing for both cooperatives in the future. Thanks for the consideration. Thanks, Justin Peeler, athletic director. Okay, so do we have a move to,
I move to accept that.
okay, we have a second?
second.
Okay. We have a move and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nope, 401. Someday, we will be Crow.
Yeah, if I could add just a little brief history. I was the person who started the high school wrestling program back in 2008, I think it was. So came to Leanne and Donna was there, and of course the 2008 recession was hitting us pretty hard as a district. So there was no high school funding for wrestling for 10 to 12 years there, and I did run the program when it was at Crow, and after about 10 or 12 years, I ran out of resources. I could no longer fundraise enough, or I just was not able to, fund the program anymore. So, and Elmira actually approached me. They were down on numbers. Also, we were facing also a declining school number, drastically declining. And toward the end there, we had 4 high school basketball players and just a couple of high school wrestlers. So we cooperated with each other so they could have 5 kids. We had 2 swing players going back and forth, and it was tough times right then. Now it's completely different, especially with basketball. We're cruising right along, but tough times right there. So that's kind of the snapshot of what our culture was like at that point, where Elmira approached us. They were having the same struggles, so we decided to work together on that. There was at that time no support.
Yeah.
Possible. I mean, we had support, but there was no money. So
yeah.
Our district had no money. So, and now things have changed, you know, but we'd love to, and we did what we could to maintain our identity. We didn't
Yeah.
want to, you know, we don't want Russells on my, so, no offense to them, of course, but they're good friends, though.
No, and that's, I mean, I think it's great the way they do it, to where they can wear a singlet and it's like, hey,
Yeah.
that's Crow, it's got 2 kids on it, and we're done. It's, you know, it's nice that they can actually be a part of it, so.
Yeah, and I think it's been a good thing. We've had a lot of positive out of it, so. That's been.
In the middle school, it seems like the middle school wrestling is strong.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids doing that, so.
So what's happened is, you know, both schools, Elmira and Crow, middle school wrestling dropped, and I was a middle school coach as well, for about 10 to 12 years, and coached youth all 3 levels at Crow, and you know, due to, you know, getting heavy funding, so for that either. Now, we haven't had a middle school since COVID, so same with Elmira. And now both teams have 10 to 15 wrestlers, pretty solid numbers, so.
Okay, because, you know, the other thing with wrestling is when you have, even if they had like, we had like 5 to do Crow, those 5 kids are gonna be so totally different in size that they don't have anybody to
Right.
spar with if we're just Crow, at least when they can go over and use the facilities and with the other kids at Elmira, they usually have somebody to work with.
Yeah, that's what's been extremely beneficial
Yeah.
for us, and I have 7 kids, so I have 2 daughters on the team, when we made the move, and just before, they were entering high school, but, you know, they weighed 100 pounds difference from
Yeah.
each other, so, I mean,
Yeah.
it has provided both schools with quality practice partners, and I think led more success. And Crow's maintained their identity. It's,
Yeah.
you know, not ideal that way. I mean, it's not cut and dried. Not, you know, the purity is, you know, I know would be nice, but you know, it's been beneficial, and I like to see some cooperation between the school districts. I think there's some positive things there. You know, I'll stick with the positive side.
You've been going for so many years.
Yeah,
That was great.
it's pretty cool.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, policy updates, first reading, IGBAB, JO-AR, the education records of students with disabilities, management, and JOA, directory information. So first reading, you guys can enjoy reading this at night. Okay. We have discussion items, process timeline for CMHS principal search.
Yes, also in your packet, as much as I honestly am enjoying being at the middle high school more, I am looking forward to hiring a new principal. So I wanted to get a proposed timeline in front of the board, because ideally, administration positions are posted there in the January, February, March time, and that's where I think we can find our most ideal candidate. So I have a proposed timeline in front of you. I thought in early December, we should start meeting with some key stakeholder groups like teachers and families and students, community members, to just get input on what are the characteristics or qualities that we want in a new principal. And then from that information, we compile and kind of create a posting profile of what we're looking for in a candidate, including these essential competencies, some vision and alignment with district values. And then we post a position early January. That's a prime posting time. Post it both internally and externally to plenty of different places. I think it would be ideal to keep the posting up for a minimum of 4 weeks for basically the whole month of January, accept applications. And then we would have a hiring committee that would do an initial screening of paper applications and kind of weed through some of that. In early February, ideally, we would have a pool of top candidates, usually 3 to 5 finalists, and do a first round of interviews for those top candidates. And look at, get that feedback. Then in March, we would theoretically likely have 2 to 3 top candidates from that first round of interview, and allow those candidates to do some open forums or Q&A sessions with community, staff, students, visit some classrooms, do some small group discussions to really get a feel for how this candidate interacts with a variety of people. Then the hiring committee would debrief and synthesize that feedback from all those opportunities in mid-March, and then by late March would review and make a and then, there would be reference checks, of course. I would do a thorough reference check for our top candidates. And then we would have a recommendation to the board for a final approval, hopefully by the end of March or early April, so that we could have April, May, June for like onboarding.
Mm-hmm.
And by July 1,
Good for you, Heidi.
Yeah.
Does that, will you make sure that the elementary school parents also have the ability
Sure.
to meet with them?
Yeah.
Because I think that sometimes the elementary school people may get a little bit more not in the know,
sure,
because
yeah.
just because we're with elementary, some parents start thinking that, oh, look, my kid is going to go there at some point. Or maybe in denial that my kid is eventually going to get that old.
Yes.
Will you be returning as principal of Applegate and Jackie returning advice at the end of this?
My goal is to be superintendent.
No, didn't you fill both roles?
I used to, but we brought on Ms. Jackie as
Okay.
a vice and now moving into a principal. I
So you will
think
be only superintendent.
that's the goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not to get into the budget or anything, but was she compensated more to be a principal, not a vice principal, I would assume?
A little.
Okay.
A little.
She did indicate she would like to renegotiate.
When she realized what she was doing all the time.
I'm like, thank you.
She's doing a great job, by the way, just to put on the record.
No, that sounds good.
So, yeah, any feedback or adjustments to that timeline, or how are we feeling?
Looks good.
Yeah. No, but I think it's important to have, elementary also, because your kids are gonna go there. I mean,
Well, and the
That's-
goal is to
that's the
hire
reason
a
why you
principal
want-
That's gonna be there for quite a
Yes.
few years,
That's the goal.
not just,
Yeah.
1 year or whatever else. The goal is for long term, which then should include all the elementary school kids who
All
get to
the
that
kids.
one.
From
Yeah.
kindergarten through
Preschool.
Preschool.
No,
Preschool.
Preschool. You
That
can't
would be
remember.
what
I mean,
exactly.
yeah,
Preschool,
They're
kindergarten.
already there, I mean.
6 years goes fast, and you're in 6th grade, and you're like, what happened? Yeah, that looks good. Looks good to me.
No, I think, like I say, I think that's great. I think the district values, obviously we've got our list, but I mean, obviously we can whatever with that too, so. Cause I think that's a good, if you're gonna make a hiring committee, they could even help with that as far as,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the goal, to help, have the hiring committee help come up with interview, screening criteria. Typically, there's a point system for screening paper applications.
Right.
And then, to come up with interview questions, and then to come up with Q&As for a public forum. And we can really dig into some of our values and start some conversations to check for alignment.
Well, I think it'll make it easier since you've already been working in that role this year to see what the need is and what you need to look for to make sure it's actually a good fit for everybody. Because you've got plenty of experience with the elementary school kids.
Yeah, this year does give me a much more eye-opening of the day-to-day operations at the middle high school, and there's so many wonderful things. So understanding this is a really
What's the staff needs,
Core
what the
value.
students needs, what's
Yep.
the community
Yep.
needs, how to meet all those different, finding the unicorn.
Yeah,
make everybody happy. It's so
Yeah.
easy.
I mean, it's a super duper important role.
It's a very important role.
And, we gotta try to do it right. All right, information items, upcoming events. As Katie said, tomorrow, homecoming football game versus Gilchrist at 7 p.m. Anybody and everybody should come. I'm even trying to recruit people I work with. I'm like, you should come watch these kids. So hopefully there's a big crowd tomorrow.
So is the admission for the elementary kids, is that for tomorrow's game or is that for next Friday's game?
So there's never any admission.
Oh, there isn't?
And
No.
anything, never.
Oh.
The free popcorn
Yeah.
So
is
they
for
just think it's
tomorrow.
really cute.
They just, they just got a free ticket.
I'm like,
for
what
tomorrow.
is this whole ticket?
It's
So
for
excited.
popcorn.
Okay, it's all about
It's free
popcorn.
popcorn
Yeah.
So
tomorrow
free
night.
popcorn tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my kid's bringing the ticket though, because.
Oh, yeah.
I like
Yeah.
to give it to you.
As in my family, yeah.
It's just to encourage them to.
Oh, yeah. no.
Okay.
All right, Saturday, October 18th is the homecoming dance, 8 to 11. Friday, November 7th is the end of quarter one. That's crazy. Tuesday, November 11th, no school Veterans Day.
I want to make a note on that. So the number of the date is really important for Veterans Day. It's always November 11th. For the last 4 or 5 years, it's been like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so it made sense for a long weekend. This year, it will be weird. We will have school on Monday, and we won't have school on Tuesday, but we'll have school Wednesday through Friday. But it is really important that our veterans are able to celebrate and participate in those events on that day.
We'll just have 2 Mondays that week for the kids.
Yep.
But I think it's really cool that the kids always understand that they have 4 days of school. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
except for Thanksgiving, you have 3, but
Yep, every other week.
no
it's
matter what, if you have a
full
day off on Wednesday, you're going Monday,
It's
Tuesday.
been very nice. And I know that last year there was a lot of pushback as far as they have to find childcare on Fridays and stuff. But I think that they all realized it was easier to find childcare study on Fridays than, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. One, I mean, I guess it's been really nice.
This week it's Tuesday, this week it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Next week's Saturday.
Grandma,
Half
can you
day.
do?
They love the half days, that was a
Half
big
days
deal.
are
I know that, yeah, having a school on Friday, I know students are very happy because once it's Thursday, they're like, I'm done. I
Yeah.
can't.
It was a good move.
It
It was a
Yeah.
very good move. But yeah, you guys can like party and have all of your
Our
in-services
attendance,
on Friday.
I'll bring it hopefully next month, our state report card, but our attendance was phenomenal at the K-8 level. I think we were over 90% of students in regular attendance, which is outstanding.
Okay, Thursday, November 20th, regular board meeting, I do believe it's at Applegate.
I think we do, and
Okay.
it should be on your, you should have gotten it,
Okay.
right, yeah.
And then Thursday and Friday, November 28 and 21 is conferences. Do we have anything for, next month? Does anyone want to add anything? We all good? All right, meeting is adjourned at 8:37.